Every team needs a reliable tank, and I'm here to teach you exactly how to tank in Mobile Legends. In this guide we'll go over how a tank's supposed to act and a few tips about how to increase your tank gameplay. Sadly, I see a lot of mistakes when I match up with random players, and I hope this video helps all tanks to be more effective. We'll go over the most made mistakes that you won't make anymore after watching this guide. If you're new to the channel, consider to subscribe if you want to receive more information about how to improve your gameplay on a regular basis. Okay, first of all, every team needs a tank. You really decrease the chance of winning if your team doesn't pick one. Make sure you can play at least one tank, so you can adjust when your team doesn't pick a tank. A tank is a hero that has high HP, good defense, and sometimes cooldown reduction is also important when your hero has strong CC skills. There are a few points that are very important if you want to become a pro tank player. The most important objective when playing as a tank is to make sure you protect your carry so he can farm as fast and efficient as possible. Your gold and XP isn't important. You want to get your carry as strong as possible because he is the damage dealer. This also means that you should sacrifice yourself if you can save his life. Always try to protect the carry from any damage so he can just farm and become strong. The next tips will definitely help you to become an effective tank player. Okay, so the first tip is an obvious one, and you probably already do this, but I still want to mention it, since this still happens way too often. When playing as a tank, always buy the boots with the Roam Blessing right from the start. The Roam Blessing will stop you from gaining XP and gold from minions or monsters when you are with an ally. This way you don't steal valuable farm from your carry. I see way too often that the tank player buy the Roam Blessing late or not at all. Don't do this because you slow down the farming of the carry, which will just decrease the overall strength of your team. As long as you have the least amount of gold and XP, you will gain some every second. This way your team gains extra gold compared to when you don't use the roam item. I hope from now on I won't ever see you play as a tank without a Roam Blessing. The next tip I see happening even more and is probably even worse. When you play as a tank, you should never walk around solo. This has multiple big downsides. Number 1. If you are soloing, who will protect the carry? Does he need to buy defense items now to protect himself because you won't? No, of course not. Always stay close to your carry. Assassins will often target the carry since it makes an easy kill. It's your job to prevent this from happening. Number 2. You are the tank. What are you going to do? You think you make any chance against enemies without damage? A tank soloing is almost as an easy target as the carry, so this will make 2 easy targets for an assassin. Or are you just soloing to farm on the minions, stealing the gold from another ally? This will add gold, since the roam item doesn't work when you solo. More gold means you aren't the lowest anymore, so the passive won't work. No passive gold will stop the extra gold that helps the overall strength of your team. Of course, there are some occasions that you can solo to protect the turret or when your carry is killed. Just please make sure you don't solo unnecessary and return to your carry as soon as possible. He really needs your protection. Okay, the next tip can really help to become just way stronger as a tank. I often see tanks using the same build for every occasion. Maybe you also have one build that you use on your favorite tank. This is a big waste since adjusting your items is the most effective on a tank hero. I always set 3 different builds on all tanks I play. This way I can adjust my build depending on the team composition of the enemy. You can set this up on the following way. Choose one main build with a mix between physical and magic defense items that fit your tank. You will use this build in most occasions. Then you also make a build that is largely based on physical defense. Make another build that relies on magic defense. If there are 4 or 5 enemies that deal physical damage, choose the physical defense build. At least 4 magic based heroes, choose the magic resist build. This simple tip can make it very fun and easy to play against a team that's overexposed to a certain type of damage. If you have the privilege to choose Bastia against such a team, the chance of losing is extremely small. Before we go on, I want to ask you to like the video, write a cool comment or something, And maybe even share this video with your friends. This will help to reach a bigger audience so the information reaches more players. Hopefully this helps you and me to stop matching up with a bad tank. The next tip is for the more experienced players, but starting players also need to know this to increase the performance. Not only should you adjust your build when playing as a tank, but choosing the right hero in a certain situation can also help you to become a more effective tank. If you're following this channel for a while, you understand the importance of choosing the right hero against or with certain heroes. I always try to provide information about which heroes are strong or weak against certain heroes. Always analyze the enemy team and the heroes that your allies pick. If you can pick a hero based on the strength of your allies and the weakness of your enemy, this will further increase the chance of winning a match. For example, when your team has a few heroes that do great area of effect damage, like Alpha, Beatrix and Esmeralda, Tigreal might be a wonderful pick. Tigreal is able to center the heroes so they are close to each other. Heroes with high area of effect damage will then be able to deal a huge amount of damage. If the enemy team picks less mobile heroes like Eudora, Layla and Terizla, a hero like Franco can be a great pick. It gets a lot easier to hook a hero when they don't move that fast. These are some kind of insights you need to develop if you want to become a better player. This not only occurs for tank heroes, but for all roles. Recently I've made a guide about the 5 best tank heroes. In this guide I'll explain why those heroes are great to use, when you should pick them and in which kind of situations you should avoid playing those heroes. I highly suggest you check it out if you have some spare time and want to receive additional information to increase your tank gameplay. Let's move towards the next tip, and it's about team fights. A team fight is a moment when most or all heroes are fighting each other. Often the fighter or tank starts the team fight by attacking a hero that's on the front line. Team fights happen quite fast and can be a bit hectic. But a mistake I see all the time when I carry is that the tank is more focusing on attacking the enemies than protecting the carry. This is wrong because if you match up against an experienced assassin or carry, they will focus you even in a chaotic teamfight. A lot of tank players think you just need to cast all your skills against an enemy in a teamfight, but in most situations this is a bad choice. You still need to be as close as possible to your carry. Try to stay in a position between your carry and the enemy he is targeting. Just save your skills until the enemy comes too close to your carry, or there is a situation when your CC is useful to cancel an ultimate or hit all the targets. Please just protect the carry, the largest part of the teamfight. If he dies, your team loses a lot of DPS, which will further decrease the chance of winning a teamfight. It might take a bit of practice, but utilizing this tip can increase the chance of winning a teamfight when you play as a tank. Teamfights are mostly the moments before winning or losing the match, so this tip can make a difference between losing or winning. The next tip will also greatly help your carry to farm. In early game, the damage of your carry isn't that high and you might need to help him to clear the minions. But a bit later on, the carry can easily do this without you. If you notice that you aren't needed anymore, you should hide in a bush when this makes sense. Let's say the enemy jungler notices on the map that only the carry is farming. Because we already know a carry without backup is an easy target, this might attract the enemy jungler to gank and make a kill. What he doesn't know is that you are hiding in a bush and it's actually 2 versus 1 if he attacks. Instead of an easy kill for the jungler, you now have an easy kill for the carry to gain some extra gold. This tip is great against enemies that don't use their minimap very well. If you keep checking your minimap and follow the heroes, you can notice that the tank is missing and probably hides in a bush. When enemies are focusing on other tanks and occasionally checks the minimap to see a carry soloing, the trick with hiding in a bush is quite powerful. Also, if you move together with your carry, try to check all bushes for hiding enemies. This also ensures that the area is safe, so the carry knows he can safely attack the turret or clear the minions. It's your task to provide sight for the tank so he can move safely. This also means he shouldn't walk in front, but safely behind you. If the enemy hides in a bush, you don't want your carry to tank all the hits. This is your task. The next tip is one that most tank players make without even noticing. It happens quite frequently that a tank player steals gold from minions from your carry. When your carry dies, while you still live, don't attack the minions, especially in early game. Just wait until the carry returns, so he can take the gold instead. Remember that your gold isn't important. It's all about boosting your carry. If you can just block the minions for a few seconds, the carry can return to kill them, so you minimize the lost farming while he was killed. An even better way to stop stealing gold is when you are able to attack the turret when the shield's on. By attacking the turret in the first 5 minutes, you can gain extra gold for every damage that's dealt to it. When you killed the enemies and you have a free path to destroy the shield, don't help your carry. Just move away so he gets the full amount of gold. You can try to block the new minions or even enemies so your carry can gain a big amount of extra gold. You don't want the gold anyway, because the roam item is your source of gold. Next tip. Never die unnecessary. Yes, you should sacrifice yourself to save your carry, but this doesn't mean you should die for nothing. If your carry is just killing minions or monsters while you hide in a bush, while enemies are entering it, don't fight back if your carry isn't able or won't help you. Just move back so you can save yourself. When going solo rank, you never know the playstyle of your carry, so it's a matter of feeling to determine whether he will help you or not. In most matches, playing safely will be the most wise choice. You don't want to die and leave your carry alone. Only engage when he can help you and you think there is a big chance of winning the fight. Then I want to give you one final tip that can help your team. There are a few heroes that can lay traps that function as a ward. This way the enemy team has a vision on a certain bush or area. The following heroes can lay this kind of traps: Nana, Selena, Diggy and Popo and Koopa. Experienced players understand the strength of map vision and will therefore place the traps on a strategic location. This can prevent you from ganking or keeping vision on a buff so they can ambush your team. When you play as a tank, it's your task to remove them. You as a tank got the most HP and the best defense, so disabling the traps hurts you the least. Just try to make sure your allies won't get hurt by walking on a trap and lose valuable HP. These were some of the most common mistakes from tank players. I really hope this helped you to increase your gameplay. If you didn't already, please like the video, write a comment and share it with your friends. This helps to get the information to more players so we all can enjoy a decent tank. Do you have any tips I forgot to mention? Leave a comment so we can all add additional information about becoming a pro tank. If you like content like this, consider to subscribe to the channel and I'll provide valuable content on a regular basis. Thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.